Hello, everybody. This is Just in Case from American Newscape, joining our friend and media personality, Jerry Maldonado, back for another installment of Meatball Therapy. Hello, Jerry. Welcome back to American Newscape Take 2.
Yeah, I was just here, Meatball. Where the hell did you go, man? You got you got problems with the internet, I guess.
Oh well. We're here now, and this week
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna we're gonna talk about the golden ticket. We're gonna talk about the magic of the golden ticket. So, Jerry, shed some light on this golden ticket and why it's important to us.
Well, people believe the golden ticket is getting rear-ended. Honestly,
Oh,
is their way out of their situation. But as you and I were speaking about in take one, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. At our age, everybody basically has seen. And the beautiful thing about this movie and what we had spoke about in the pre-show and during the first taping was how little Charlie tried. He desired to see something. He really wanted something in life. And sadly, everything around him kept telling him, including his own mother, that it wasn't going to happen. Granted, the movie was about fantasies and this and that, but imagination is kind of like the same way. And if we allow our imagination to cultivate and to understand what we truly want as people, this movie is a great metaphor to live by because then you get the Grandpa Joes that start coming out like he did in the movie. He says, Charlie, you can have anything you want. You deserve anything you want. You can be anything you want. And when Charlie started to enlighten that, what he was saying, he started understanding what he was bringing. And guess what he brought to himself?
he brought Hollywood.
Indeed. And a
Indeed.
ticket, man.
And the ticket. And a ticket.
His desire, his fulfillment, exactly. And it was great. It was colorful. Like you said, the Oompa Loompas in the first taping, those big fat purple people, whatever you want to call it. But it's a great history lesson on quantum and metaphysics that people got to understand for themselves. We can have our own golden ticket by how we perceive ourselves. We can have our own golden ticket by what we see in the mirror every day. Our golden ticket is our dreams and our belief in our dreams, not necessarily hoping for them. Hope is a great starting point, but knowing. Charlie always knew in the bottom of his heart. You could see it. You could see the goosebumps in his arms when he knew he had something in his hand. It's that kind of feeling that'll bring about the most amazing things in your life.
Well, I agree. And, that movie, and we're only talking about the original one because the remake of it
Yes.
was horrific. I mean, it
Yeah, I
was
never
just a
saw it.
lot. Well, that's good. You're smart. Um, I wish I could say that. But if we go back
I know,
to it,
right?
yeah, exactly. So we go back to that movie. It was just a series of encouraging thought process, even from the Oompa Loompas. Even from the Oompa Loompas.
It was a great family movie on dreams. It was fantastic. It's sad, and they call it a musical, but it was actually a lesson on about our own lives and what we can have, be, and do in life. And it's sad that we don't see that now. It's more of AI and all that kind of stuff. But we have our own power. We have by our own mindset, and we can have the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory kind of thing going on in our life. Our golden ticket by how we see ourselves as a person and what we're emitting through our energy and our feelings every single day. This is so important for people that are trying to transform. You're thinking positive, but you can't feel like a meatball and create good things in your life. You got to master the heart mind concept, what you're thinking about, what you're feeling. You combine that potent force, you're going to bring anything you want, any golden ticket of dreams or wants in your life.
Well, absolutely. And those beliefs in oneself and in one's desires is that first step, is actually that first step you need to make to move down this path. You've got to believe in yourself, and you've got to believe that there's a purpose for you and that you can move forward to try and acquire and our desires and goals, they can modify over the course of time, but you should never not have them. And you should always believe in yourself.
It may sound passe, but imagine trying to attain what you want, but yet your surroundings, like what Charlie was going through, you can't. We're poor, we're broke, we're eating this and doing that. You got 6 people, almost like me when I was living in the motel thing going on back then. Telling him he can't do it. One person, Grandpa Joe, gave him the insight, perspective, which is your opinion about life. You start changing your opinion about life. You start changing what you bring about in life. You keep on doing what you're doing. You're going to keep on getting what you're getting. So when you realize what you're getting, you start choosing your thoughts and your feelings differently.
Well, that's a good point because you become more attuned to the process.
Oh, great point. Great point. Attuned. I mean, like when you're trying to, the old radio station, getting a station, remember us older meatballs out there, we remember you're trying to get the station in, you got to get it just right. That's called frequency. And when you start getting on the frequency of abundance, that energy transmission, just like you're trying to get to a radio station, you're going to attach yourself to exactly what you're trying to have be and do in life. You can be the hardest working person, and I still do the same amount of work, if not more, than I was back then. But what's the difference? My thought patterns, my belief patterns, and how I perceive myself as a person. I mean, watch that movie about the lesson in life, and you will be amazed on what you change about yourself.
Well, and you might be embarrassed about how much you enjoy that movie.
I know, but it's so. Like I said, I didn't get it, and so until I started realizing the missing piece. They always have like subliminal messages, and I remember do the record backwards thing back when we were growing when we were growing up.
Really?
But there's amazing lessons in these older movies that show us, say, look, this is not about fantasy. This can be this. The movie itself was a fantasy of an English film writer who went to the Cadbury factory, and it's amazing how he created a fantasy from a fantasy. And this is how we do in life. It starts at a starting point, our source of thinking, and builds into our life being, which is absolutely amazing.
Well, it is. It is, and it's all worth celebrating. And I always like to say it's a journey, but it's an adventure. And when we're on these paths, we need to learn to not only appreciate the path, but appreciate the adventure. And take,
Great point.
as you always tell us, take note. Take note of those steps, which you do in your journaling.
Yes, I mean, you brought up a fantastic point. People are so fixed on the destination, they forget about the journey. The journey is what creates the destination. Each step, that feeling, that thought, that action, that deed, whatever you want to call it, every part of that foundation. So how you plant those bricks of thought every single day will determine what kind of house you build.
Well, it will, and it'll determine it, and it will make it special how it turns out because you appreciate the work, and it's not really work, but the energies and the positive thoughts that you put into it, and that's what makes it fulfilling at the end. That's why it makes it something you can be proud of.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, these are things that you tell yourself every day.
Yes.
Every mistake, every bankruptcy, every foreclosure, every relationship, the marriage that I had, I look back on it as a lesson in the lesson because when you learn from it, you grow from it. You don't dwell in it. You become better from it. And people have to realize and have to understand for themselves that the past is just a lesson of who you were at that time. It's not who you are now because you don't get what you want. You get who you are. And if you're not getting what you want in life, look at who you are as a person, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're sending out every day in this magnet thought process that we are. And you realize what you're getting.
Well, if you look back, Jerry, I remember playing Shoots and Ladders as a small child. That was one of the first board games I played. And that's what that game was all about. You know, you keep moving
Yeah.
up, you move up, and then you get a setback, and what do? You start moving up again. And if you want to win the game, you have to persevere and be positive in life. Certainly, you didn't have to be positive in Chutes and Ladders, but that's what made it fun. I mean, moving forward.
Well, life has taught us that there's odds and you got to struggle. You get rid of that notion and, and that belief system that anything is possible because I'm possible. And you really start seeing life in a different light.
Well, absolutely, and it should be your belief system and not the external world's belief system.
Exactly. Yourself.
Yes.
Yourself. Me, my book, me, myself, and I can. It's about self. It's not being selfish. It's being your best self that creates the best self.
Right. And it's not never about keeping up with the Joneses because there
Oh
are
yeah,
no
I
there are
saw
no
that golden ticket pop up on my screen. Man, I like that. That was awesome.
well, I'll put it back up there for you. You get a
Woo,
gold
there we go. That's
you
what I'm talking about.
you get a golden ticket,
We need
Jerry.
some Oompa Loompas kind of bumping along on the bottom there. Yeah, love you, Kurt. You're the
All right, Jerry, why don't you leave us with a I'm going to take your golden ticket away. Leave us with a
best. Okay,
final
there you go.
leave us with a final thought and we'll
Got
put
to
this
have
one
that
in the
America's
bag.
Newscape plug up there. Got to keep it going. To all up there and to the majority who actually believe that we're creating something out of thin air, which we are, mind you, let go of the old thought patterns and what people have said to you, what things have happened to you. Let go of that perception. Use it as a lesson. Realize you are your own person right now. The person you are right now is your creation point, is your starting point to wherever you want to go. When you start consciously thinking about what you're thinking about and realizing and monitoring what you're thinking about, you'll realize what we're bringing about.
Well, I couldn't agree more, Jerry. Hey, everybody, this has been Justin Case and Jerry Maldonado with his poor internet connection, bringing you Meatball Therapy as it relates to the golden ticket. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Remember, additional information and links provided in this video's read more. Today is the day to subscribe to this channel. Please learn more about Jerry Maldonado when time permits.